Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday. Today, I got to fully shower, so I'm very, very, very excited. I also have been asked a lot about how things are going, so let's recap. Basically, I was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 days after being laid off. It was a real whopping happy holiday message to kick off December. And in that moment, I was just told we need to come in for a biopsy, and I got my biopsy results and learned that it was a grade 3 tumor. So there's 3 grades of tumor types. 3 is the most aggressive. And I also learned that there's a Ki-67 protein in these cells that 0 to 10 is no to slow growth, 10 to 20 moderate growth, over 20 very high growth, and I was 53. So as one of my favorite mentors says, why you always gotta be an achiever? I don't know, I guess even my cancer cells can't stop achieving. So what ended up being my initial message was you're gonna need intensive chemotherapy and likely radiation. Not radiation, I'm getting all this mixed up. Chemotherapy and a full mastectomy. And so at first I cried over losing my hair, the thought of it, and then I cried over, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna have your full, like all the tissue, all the fat, everything removed from your body. That thought was giving me nightmares at night. I would wake up thinking about, like we were on a horse ride with my daughter, and the horse had stopped and saw this coyote ripping the flesh off of this animal, and I had a nightmare about that, except I was in, a surgical room and they were ripping the flesh off of my body, and that was a little bit of a scary low. Yet one of the things that I just am in awe of is the kindness of people in this journey. It has made me realize that I would not trade this for the world, because so often in the moments when I might feel overwhelmed or down, I get a text or a message or a sweet gift or someone delivering food or someone saying, hey, can I come by? And so I just want to share that compassion with you. And also I've been asked about how I'm doing now. So luckily, lots and lots of doctor's appointments later as we studied this tumor type and my body. I don't have any family history of cancer. I don't have any genetic markers. So once we got that information, my treatment plan changed, and we thought we could go with a lumpectomy and a sentinel lymph node something. I'm sure there's a noun there that I can't remember, but I wanted to share that part with you. Now that I have some mobility in my arm, I'm like, look at me, woo, I can wave, feels so good. So there's, it's a fairly large incision where they took out 6 lymph nodes there to study those. And so everyone asks, what's the next step? The next step is recover, be good to my doctors and my medical team, and be an extraordinary patient. One of the themes of Building Brilliance has always been, since I founded it in 2011, is to be extraordinary. And so I want to be an extraordinary patient. So I want you to think about that. Be an extraordinary blank. You're probably not a cancer patient, although hopefully this is reaching some cancer patients. I do feel that on my heart to lift others up who might be going through this challenge. And I want you to think, be an extraordinary, might be team member, leader, mom, community member, friend, daughter, insert your word. But what would it look like to be extraordinary in that? For me, it's requiring a lot of discipline. I'm nourishing my body with incredibly healthy foods to reduce inflammation so that this can heal as quickly as possible. To me, that's extraordinary. Another thing that's extraordinary is having the courage to share my story and to uplift others around me. I can't tell you how blessed I feel that people have reached out and said, man, this really inspires me to get going. I watch how you navigate cancer and I realize, man, I haven't been chasing my big dreams and my goals. And if you can do it while you're navigating cancer, I can do it too. I love those stories. I had 2 women reach out to me last week who are going through different health issues, yet this is lifting them up. So I don't know how it might be lifting you up, but I would love to hear your story, truly. That's what's lifting me up through this time and is helping me realize that a lot of the times when God, the universe, source, places someone on our heart or in our minds, we've got to reach out. I've always been really a thoughtful person, but I would keep those thoughts to myself. And more recently, probably over maybe the last 5 years, I started to realize that I need to share those positive thoughts with others. And so I started doing that more. And man, watching the world light up around you is incredible. Those of you who know me know that I love leadership. And if you think of the best leaders you've ever worked with, they were incredibly kind, thoughtful, and caring people. So I want to invite you to exercise compassion this week, starting with yourself, because that's where it all flows from. From practicing self-love, self-care, self-compassion translates to showing that to others. I can tell the most loving people in my life right now because they are the ones that are reaching out with positive messages. They are sending healthy meals or delivering healthy meals, coming by for visits, sending gifts and thoughtful things. It blows my mind, and I am just so grateful because I haven't had time to be down and discouraged. God just keeps putting more people on my path, and I'm walking this beautiful journey not knowing what the next step is. And so know that really anything in life, I'm realizing I haven't had as much control as little Miss Planner would have liked to thought she had. It is important to have a plan because otherwise you're going to go nowhere, right? Months become years, years become decades, and then you're sitting in your 40s wondering what the heck happened to your life. So we don't want that. You definitely need plans. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have my, I'm going to own it, 12-page strategic life plan. I love life planning, and I hope that someday you'll consider joining me in that journey with the Life Design Lab if you prefer to do it virtually. Or I'm preparing a wellness week and weekend retreats to host here and can do it live with you in person. But there's 8 dimensions of your life that you should be thinking about. Often we think about our career, we think about our relationships dimension with our kids and families, and the rest just, we kind of fumble through, and one day becomes another, and then days become weeks, and it's easy to lose track of time. So that's what's always helped me keep on track and carry big goals. Today I'm celebrating the incredible things that have happened just this past few days. One of my goals with this journey is to, my dog's going nuts and it's such a distraction. I normally love scripts and I love to plan my trainings, and this has been a journey of the unknown and unplanned. And so I've gotten a lot of feedback that people like that, and as uncomfortable it is for me, I'm gonna go with it. So Branson, please sit. So with that, one of my goals in sharing is to show truly the beauty of the human spirit. We are all brilliant. I have known that for as long as I can remember. I've loved to study the brilliance in human beings and those who are achieving extraordinary things. It's left me very inspired doing that work, reading memoirs, reading positive psychology books, neuroscience books, systems thinking, leadership, all those great things. And yet I know that a lot of people aren't geeky like me and they don't like to do that. So I'm here to share some of those lessons learned. Great leaders, if you think of the ones that you love the most, that you love to work for, that you'd walk through fire for, that you'd follow them to another job, they're authentic and genuine. Where does that start? It starts with their love and care of themselves. So I invite you to do that today. Then that translates and overflows from themselves to others, right? And so one of my favorite things is books. And I'm here, I had a dear friend message me, did you get a package? And I said, oh my goodness, we've been at the stock show all weekend. And I have not even checked my front porch. So I went out to my front porch and found this box. And I said, oh my gosh, knowing Rhonda and knowing the size and weight of this box, it must be a book. And that's my favorite gift of all time. So I'm gonna open that. It does have a little keep your surprise private, so I haven't seen it yet. And then I also wanted to shout out to my dear friend Rebecca. We taught together 20 years ago, and I still have a book called Anyway that I highly recommend. It's the 10 Paradoxical Commandments. And she gave me that book probably, I think it was maybe, it is dated like 2008 or something like that. And then this one arrived right in the hustle and bustle of all my doctor's appointments as we were trying to figure out what was happening with these challenged cells, as I like to call them. So thank you so much, Rebecca. I also want to shout out to Larry, who sent me yesterday a Kindle book that he just published called Pray, Go, Find. So very exciting to have all of these wonderful books to nourish my mind. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your character. So we've got to start doing things that nourish our mind. We go and work out our bodies. We eat healthy foods. We also have to do some work on our psychology. And that happens through watching things that are inspiring, listening to things that are inspiring, whether they're podcasts or songs or YouTube channels, and then immersing our minds in positive things that enrich our learning. Oh my goodness. Not only is it a book, it's a beautifully wrapped book. Look at this, so pretty. I love this book, The Depth of the Prayers, the beautiful way they spoke in their devotion. Oh, thank you. I hope you're encouraged, comforted, and blessed. Yes, I am. Thank you, Rhonda. Let's take a peek inside. My right arm strength is not up to par. It drives me nuts throughout the day. So it's a joy to share that little part of this journey with you. Into his presence. Rhonda, thank you so very much. And thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, Larry. I also want to shout out to Lisa, who on Saturday took my daughter to go to her daughter's horseback riding lesson. I was planning on bringing her there, and it was such a relief to just have a few hours to myself. I was able to go to Saturday night service and meet with the prayer team, and I texted the executive pastor and said, I'm gonna be there, can you pray with me? And I'm learning it's okay to ask for help. It's not a burden. Holy cow, I wish I'd known that, 20 years ago. And I just felt so blessed. So thank you, Lisa. And thank you, Lori. Lori's en route to come and see me right now, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to be touring this, giving her a tour of this beautiful place and sharing just some big, great girl hugs. So I am just lifted, and it's these kinds of small acts that, as you see, keep our spirits high during times that I can't even imagine right now what this would be like to navigate job loss and a cancer diagnosis right before the holidays as a single mom. There's some weight to that reality, yet all the positivity, all the encouragement, dreams. Yesterday we talked about dreams. I want you dreaming. Your dreams will fuel you and lift you up in ways. When I started dreaming about, I knew from the moment I stepped foot on this property, this was a special place. You could feel it energetically. I knew I wanted to share this place with others. I wasn't really sure how. And now that dream is coming true as I take steps. I just built a web page. It's not perfect yet, but you're welcome to go look at it. It's drj.com, so drjea.com/Blue Ribbon Barn. That's what Gigi wanted to call it, so that's what we're rolling with. And I have a dear friend who said it's like Xanadu. And so that is what you'll see there. And I just hope that you'll share some feedback with me. I'm really excited about that part of the dream. And this is what's keeping me encouraged through what could be a dark time. And people ask, what's next? What's next is healing. I have about 3 weeks to heal. I'm 1 week out from surgery. 1 week ago today, I was coming home. And so with that, I guess after that, I get to know some information once they bring the pathology of this tumor back, and then we'll know next steps from there. So with that, that's all she wrote today. I hope to see you tomorrow and would love to know what you'd like to geek out on. Anything in the realm of mindset, positive psychology, confidence, communication, leadership, living your best life, great 8 dimensions, and how to think holistically about your life, so that you don't wake up one day going, man, I gave it all to my career. One thing I know for sure, you will never go to your grave wishing you went to another meeting, my friends. That is for certain. So let me know what you'd love to learn about, and we'll geek out together. I'm just creating this with you. Wishing you a wonderful, happy Tuesday. Mwah.